Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. James Sharmack here. So we are looking at another GodziBurst figure today. They just announced at New York Toy Fair that they'll be coming out with some American versions. I'm not sure how I feel about those. They look like they're a little more fantasy, they've taken some liberties with the colors. Anyway, today we're looking at the 1995 Burning Godzilla from obviously Godzilla vs. Destroyer. So we'll just take a look at the figure. The usual stuff, compare it with like the size for like some of the other Burning Godzilla figures I have, and see how it goes. So the blister packaging is pretty dynamic. Got the burst right up there. Obviously this is an import, so a lot of Japanese going on. Got a figure right there. Picture of the figure right there. On the back, some obviously probably is like cool pictures or whatever. You don't actually, have a fire effect, but whatever. A lot of Japanese, since I don't know Japanese, it is what it is, but I'm still happy to have the figure. So, we'll take them out of the box and take a look. Okay, so let's take a look at the figure. Pretty cool looking figure. Obviously, if you don't screw it up, it is what it is. So, nice, paint apps on it. Has the same paint apps more or less as the vinyl Bandai figure we have in every other pretty much freaking Burning Godzilla figure, so we'll take a look at those later. Got nice head sculpt going on right there. Nice look at the eye. Obviously the fire in the eye looks pretty cool. The dorsal fins, pretty cool. Don't really stick out too much. No paint going down the tail, but still, that is what it is. Nice detail on the claws and the feet with the toenails, whatever. Teeth look pretty solid. So yeah, they got decent amount of, pretty solid amount of figure detail for such a little figure. And put them side to side with the other two figures I have from the line. Okay, the King Ghidorah looks a little bit taller than Burning Godzilla, and looks pretty solid against Kiryu. But it is what it is. Obviously have them fight each other, whatever. We're obviously going to try build this collection a bit. So 3 is just the beginning. So pretty cool looking collection so far. Let's compare the size of the two. I pulled out the Bandai Burning Godzilla I've had for a very long time. Probably need to dust them off a bit, but still, obviously, just still one of my favorite figures. Pretty cool. Obviously, he has the same paint not going down the tail, but still, you can see where the origins came from, or where that figure evolved from, whatever. So, pretty cool, pretty solid. And for a more recent figure, I put out the action figure set, as they call it. They're going to change the name. Apparently, they're changing the name to Godzilla Rampage for this line of figures, which it's pretty cool. I dig it. It's a lot better than saying action figure set. Anyways, just wanted to compare the two. Has pretty much a similar advances in like the detail. They put a little more yellow than the Bandai vinyl figure. Eyes, pretty much similar, I guess. So that's pretty cool. Obviously, doesn't have the effects that this one has, so it is what it is. But still, that's your size comparison. I mean, sure, he is a small figure, but he's not the smallest I have in the collection. I think I get this one from a Comic-Con convention for like $1. It's still, obviously, I don't care what size. I do like me some Burning Godzilla. I am building a Burning Godzilla collection, so we'll see how that goes. Eventually, we might do a video if I have enough figures to do it with. But just right now, just focusing on size comparisons. So this figure is pretty solid. He's about $9, $10, or whatever. I think that's the American price you're going with, but it's a little bit more with the import, whatever. Anyways, pretty solid. I do like having them. Obviously, These figures are more meant for children, but they're still a lot of fun for adults to collect and maybe put them in your collections, whatever. I mean, I'm not complaining, so, you know, why should anyone complain, right? So, yeah, like I said, I want to build some more of these GodziBursts, get some more of those figures, build this collection a bit, see how it goes. Maybe, you know, I'll incorporate them in some AI videos. I don't know, but still, you can't go wrong if they do a Burning Godzilla right? As I said, one of my favorite figures is the Playmates version, shockingly, because they did a pretty solid job on it. But anyways, yeah, he's on Big Bad Toy Store or wherever you can find imports, so you can probably, you know, check it out and maybe get it one for yourself. Anyways, that's for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you did like it. If you do, you know, like, subscribe, whatever, the usual stuff. I started, if you haven't, you know, watched videos for this channel, I've started a new channel focused on AI video creation, so maybe check that out. I don't know, but anyways, my name is James Sharmack. This has been a Nerdum with J&J. As always, keep on collecting and happy hunting.